Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing, Inc.
A firm no to a request from Belize to restructure its super bond. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Wednesday, January 18. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. A request by the Belize government for a restructuring of its $530 million super bond 3.0 has been rejected. A committee set up by the Bank of New York, which is the trustee of the bonds that are due in 2038, said bondholders are not prepared to restructure the bond. And they don't want to do that again. This is the third time government has asked for the bonds to be restructured. And Charles Blitzer, he's the head of the U.S.-based consultant firm and advisor to the committee. He told Belize Channel 5 News that bondholders need some assurance that government is embarking on a strong fiscal program to reduce crisis risks.
The bondholders cannot be by themselves the solution to the problem. It has to include a strong program of adjustment by the government to reduce crisis risk. And so we've been asking for additional information and evidence which would support the notion that Belize is indeed turning a corner and not just putting itself in the position of being asking the bondholders for the same type of relief 2 or 3 years from now.
The Barbados government is insisting the country's economy is not in any danger, as the opposition has been claiming. In fact, Minister of Finance Chris Sinclair says the economy has improved so much over the last few years that when the statistics are released, people will be shocked. He told Parliament on Tuesday that a report compiled by his ministry with support from the International Monetary Fund had found that the situation was not as dire as the Barbados Labour Party was portraying. Sinclair said that very shortly, government would release that information to show people what the real size of the economy is and how it has risen over the last 10 years. Opposition leader Mia Mottley had earlier demanded that Sinclair and Prime Minister Frandell Stewart address pertinent issues relating to the economy, but the finance minister was adamant that neither his office nor the Central Bank of Barbados had withheld information from the public. He also dismissed the possibility of the Barbados currency being devalued, saying he was prepared to resign if that happened.
There's not going to be any devaluation of the Barbados dollar on this administration. If the next one wants to do it, they will do it when they become the government, if they become the government. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it. I can tell you right now, I would resign as Minister of Finance. There's no devaluation of no Barbados dollar.
We stay in Barbados, where Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite wants more research into the cost of abuse of legal and illegal drugs in the country. He was addressing a national consultation on an anti-drugs plan for 2017-2021. According to him,
one cannot argue, at least I don't believe that there's a sensible argument against breathalyzer testing. But yet you would hear in some quarters, well, what is the evidence that people are getting into accidents because of alcohol consumption, etc.? You don't have any statistics from the hospital, etc. You just hear that on Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings, and when they have holidays at the city, more accidents, etc. But you don't need to do research to work out that there's a relationship between the two of them. Or if you're like me, just need to be on the road at some times in the morning and see people struggling to get home.
Meanwhile, country representative for the Organization of American States, Ambassador Francis McBarnett, says drug abuse is increasingly being seen as a public health concern, and there is a movement on the way to class drug abusers as law offenders.
Importantly, and associated with the public health approach, there is a growing understanding and an emerging body of knowledge on drug dependence and addiction. Brain imaging studies, for instance, are telling us a lot about human personality. These studies are establishing that individuals who are dependent on psychotropic drugs experience changes in parts of the brain responsible for decision-making, learning, memory, and behavior.
The Jamaica government is predicting 2% economic growth this fiscal year. Finance Minister Audley Shaw told legislators on Tuesday night that real GDP growth for the first half of the current fiscal year was 1.7% compared to 1.2% in the first half of 2015-2016. He said growth in the economy has been fairly broad-based, with agriculture and fisheries growing by 17.4%. Hotels and restaurants by 1.7%, electricity and water supply by 3.8%, and manufacturing and construction by 0.7%. Shaw noted that while that economic growth is in line with the government's 1.7% official projection, he expects that under the country's IMF-supported program, growth could be closer to 2% if the momentum seen thus far continues in the second half of the fiscal year. And still in Jamaica, National Security Minister Robert Montague has defended government's decision to reject offers from the United Kingdom to help build a maximum security prison in the country. He says while the UK would have funded 40% of the construction cost, Jamaica would still have needed to find an additional £32 million to finance it, and that's money taxpayers can't afford at this time. We get more in this report from Damian Phillips of CVM Jamaica.
It was no secret the Jamaica Labour Party administration rejected the prison deal from the get-go. 2017, and the Minister of National Security, Robert Montague, armed with more details about the deal, is indicating it's just not practical.
Every independent sovereign country will do things in their best interest, and Jamaica must do the same. We will have to find £32 million to match the 25. We cannot afford it at this time.
Britain, he insisted, is still a friend of Jamaica and is pivotal in the fight against crime. The minister said the resulting impact from taking these prisoners would be too much for the Jamaican society to handle. Minister Montague said he was not ignoring the condition of the correctional facilities, saying he was cognizant of what prisoners and correctional officers have to endure. Some solutions are, however, on the table to create additional space in the prisons.
But we have some realities that we have to face. If our labor try to raise $1 more in our taxes, it's a problem. The money has to come from somewhere. And what we have decided to do is to rationalize the space we have in our correctional service. We can host 3,687 inmates today. Well, up to yesterday, I am told. We had 3,611. So we still have little space. But it is only 2 institutions that can receive inmates from the courts: Tower Street and St. Catherine. Richmond is underserved. New Brighton is underserved. Cambrian Farm is underserved. So I have ordered, and they have completed a reclassification.
His plan is to have prisoners with less than 6 months remaining on the term to be sent home with tracking devices, but would see the families of these persons paying for the monitoring.
And the Jamaica government will be spending at least $2.5 billion over the next 2 fiscal years to clean the voters list. Finance and Public Service Minister Audley Shaw says there are between 300,000 and 500,000 names on the list that need to be removed. He said he recently met with Director of Elections to discuss the issue. Shaw said he will be recommending to the Cabinet that the electoral body carry out a brand new enumeration exercise. The last full enumeration was done 17 years ago, and a re-verification exercise was carried out 10 years ago. Still to come in Caribbean Newsline, Trinidad's Senate says yes to raising the legal age of marriage. Stay with us. There's more news after this break. Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Get ready for the Caribbean's most original carnival, Dominica's Carnival, Mass Dominic 2017, February 4th to the 28th. Revel in the splendor of a masquerade band. Experience the parades, the non-stop fetes, Dominica Nights, Dominiki Do, Mass Dominic, the real mass. Come, revel with us. Visit us online at dominicafestivals.com or call us at 767-255-8221.
The Trinidad and Tobago Senate has passed an amendment to the marriage bill that seeks to raise the legal age for marriage to 18, but it did not have the support of opposition legislators. The 4 in the Senate all abstained from voting along with an independent senator. During the debate on Tuesday, leader of the opposition business in the Senate, Wade Mark, gave his support to the age being increased to 18, but he said the main opposition United National Congress was also suggesting there be an exception for children between 16 and 18 years in circumstances where there is parental and judicial consent, where legal aid is provided, and where the child is involved in the decision-making. Mark had also suggested that the bill be sent to a joint select committee of Parliament to allow civil society groups and religious bodies a further opportunity to express their views on amendments to the legislation. But that advice was not heeded and the bill was passed. Mark had made it clear even before then that the opposition would take action.
We will take to the streets, we will tell the country what our position was, and the Attorney General and the government rejected it. And in those circumstances, whatever happens at the end of the day to the bill, we take no responsibility for it.
Still in the Twin Island Republic, Works and Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan says online transportation company Uber did not speak with any government officials or the licensing division before launching its app in Port of Spain and San Fernando on Tuesday. He's maintaining that the service is illegal, but he is open to discussing the issue with our CNC3's Akash Samaru has more.
When the Transport Ministry met to discuss Uber's legality 5 hours after the company went into operation, the public accused the ministry of being reactive. But it seems as if the ministry did not know Uber would have activated its services at 11 a.m. on Monday.
There were talk that Uber was going to launch, but they actually launched. And once they launch, then we have to now find out exactly what it is really going on here. I was in Tobago and I got a call that Uber had a launch. Immediately we contacted our legal team to find out what is the ramifications for us.
But it was well known that Uber was setting up shop in this country for some months, but the transport minister said the company did not have an official meeting with the authorities to approve the service it is offering.
They came in, they launched, but to my knowledge, there have been no conversation with anybody at the licensing office or at the Ministry of Works and Transport.
Now, the minister admitted that Uber did try to seek a meeting in November, but it was not yet granted.
If you get a letter end of November, in December, more than likely, you will facilitate that in January.
And without that meeting, the minister says it was wrong for them to activate the service.
You cannot just enter a country just like that, set up your operations, and then expect the government will conform to your standards.
And after meeting with his legal team, Minister Sinanan says the company is in the wrong.
Clearly, they are not abiding by the laws that governs the Road Traffic and Motor Vehicle Act, and we will be having further discussion with them tomorrow.
Uber has maintained that it is not a taxi company and therefore the laws governing that service do not apply. But the minister says that is not true.
Authorities in Guyana have banned the importation of used tires, and this move has been welcomed by the Guyana National Bureau of Standards. The Bureau says there have been numerous problems with the quality of imported used tires and is developing regulations to govern importation. But as we hear in this report from Ivor Wharton of Capital News, the Bureau has shifted its focus somewhat.
Head of the Guyana National Bureau of Standards is hoping that with the ban on used tires, there would be improvements of tires on the local market. Candell Walcott Bostwick of GNBS, during an interview with this newscast, said prior to the ban on used tires, the agency was in the process of revising the standards for used tires being imported locally.
Well, what we're trying to do at the GMBS, we have a standard that monitors the importation of tires and basically looks at the physical parameters of the tires. So the inspection is done of those tires to meet the requirements. Now that used tire standard that is currently being used is currently under revision, where we would have included additional requirements for storage, because what you find when the tire comes into the country, you may check it. Yes, it may meet the specification, but if it's not stored properly under the right conditions, it can deteriorate. So by the time it is purchased, it will not last very long. But we have the ban on used tires now, so with that we hope to see improvement in the quality of tires that are available on the local market.
Questions and concerns raised by the Used Tire Association that some new tires imported for resale in the local market could be as defective as used tires. Mrs. Bostwick said that tests will have to be carried out on those tires to ensure that they meet the standards. She, however, explained that the Bureau is in the process of building its capacity, which would aid in its testing capabilities.
You see, at the GMBS, we were also in the process of having our capacity built through the project that is currently or should commence implementation shortly, enhancing the national quality infrastructure and trade promotion for the diversification of products, where the GMBS will have facilities built to boost its testing capabilities.
This system, she said, would allow them to monitor and inspect a wider range of products, either imported or manufactured locally.
Because in most instances, we can now test products based on the labeling requirements. And also we depend on the importer to have those products accompanied with a test certificate, right? So many instances we were unable to verify, right, that the batch or that shipment actually meets specifications. So when we equip with those facilities, we're able to do more testing.
And ahead in Newsline Sports, speculation on who will be Trinidad's next national football coach. Stay with us. Sport is next.
Pharmacy now has 2 locations to fill your prescriptions promptly and efficiently. Our branch at One Accord Plaza is open daily, including Sundays and bank holidays. Also, check out our new drive-through location at Warren's Healthcare Complex in Michael, the first and only drive-through pharmacy in Barbados. For more information, call Roundhay One Accord Plaza at 421-7863 and our new drive-through branch at Warren's in Michael at 424-5574.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and Carib Vision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today. Either Francisco Maturana, Stuart Charles, or Englishman Terry Fenwick could become the next Trinidad and Tobago men's senior coach. Media reports say the three have been shortlisted for the vacant position, with the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association expected to meet shortly to decide on a final candidate. Former national star and coach Russell Latapy and former national defender Dennis Lawrence were cut from the initial five-man shortlist. One of the favorites for the vacant post is Colombian Maturana, who has led the TNT in the past. The 67-year-old brings a strong resume, having previously led Ecuador, Peru, Costa Rica, and his native Colombia. St. Lucia Charles Ferreira, meanwhile, has won numerous titles in the local Pro League and is the current coach of the top Pro League outfit, W Connection. Like Maturana, the 57-year-old has coached the TNT national side before. Englishman Fenwick has extensive experience coaching in the Pro League, where he has won titles with San Juan, and the 57-year-old is a former Queen's Park Rangers star who also represented England during the 1980s. The FA were left searching for a new head coach after Belgian Tom Saintfiet resigned suddenly last week after just 5 weeks in charge. An announcement on the new head coach could be made by Friday. Staying with football, Caribbean Football Union President Gordon Derrick believes the decision to expand the World Cup to 48 teams will augur well for regional sides. But he says this does not represent a guarantee of a spot at the showpiece. A week ago, football's world governing body, FIFA, voted on the move, which will see the number of teams at the showpiece rise from 32 to 48, and the number of games leap from 64 to 80. Currently, CONCACAF only has 3 automatic berths at the World Cup, with a possible 4th available through an inter-confederation playoff. Derrick told the Jamaica Observer while an increase in spots for the continental governing body was anticipated, this did not mean that CFU teams would automatically benefit. The new move by FIFA will see 16 groups of 3 nations contest the preliminary round, with 32 teams qualifying for the knockout round. The changes will take effect from 2026. Reggae boy Gareth McCleary has been rewarded for his brilliant form this season with Reading FC by inking a new 3.5-year contract. The 29-year-old joined the English Championship club from Nottingham Forest 4.5 years ago and has emerged the leading scorer for this season for the Royals with 8 goals, all coming in the league. Behind his form, Reading lie 4th in the standings on 46 points and are in firm contention for automatic promotion. The clever forward has already made over 150 appearances for Reading and has become a pivotal member of the outfit. He struck a double in a 3-0 win over Wigan last November and has continued to score key goals and make valuable assists. McCleary believes he is part of a unit with the ability to make waves this season. Over to athletics. Rising Jamaica star Jael Hyde says he is looking to build on his success of last year as he begins preparation for the upcoming international season. The 19-year-old successfully defended his 400 meters hurdle title at the IAAF World Under-20 Championships in Poland and also qualified for the Summer Olympics in Rio. He told the Jamaica Gleaner that while his plan is to take it one step at a time this year, his aim is to take his career further. August's World Championship in London will be the highlight of the season, and Hyde says the event will be his focus. Hyde was tipped for prominence from early ever since he won the sprint hurdles at the Carifta Games in 2012 and at the World Youth Championships in the following year. He returned in 2014 to win at the Summer Youth Game in China before capturing the first of his under-20 titles in Oregon that same year. We move over now to cricket. Kieran Pollard produced a season-best knock to hand Carlos Brathwaite's Sydney Thunder a solid 77-run defeat on Wednesday and end the reigning champions' dream of reaching the playoffs of the Big Bash League. The big hit in Pollard slammed 47 off 22 deliveries to help the previously bottom-placed Adelaide Strikers rack up 178 for 5 off their 20 overs at the Sydney Showground Stadium. Pollard arriving at the crease in the 13th over smashed 5 sixes to give the visitors momentum down the stretch. In reply, the Horse were cruising at 60 for 1 in the 8th over, but suffered a sudden collapse to lose their last 8 wickets for 41 runs in the space of 45 deliveries. Captain Shane Watson struck 39 and opener Curtis Patterson 29 in a second wicket partnership worth 58, but they were the only 2 batsmen to reach double figures. Brathwaite, batting at number 5, faced just 2 deliveries before he was bowled to Sohi in 12th over at 81 for 4. Pollard, who shared the new ball, picked up 1 for 36 from 3 overs slow medium. And finally, villagers in a rural community in South Trinidad had a rare opportunity to meet cricket legends in a charity match that held in honor of former West Indies cricketer Darren Ganga. Ganga celebrated his 38th birthday on Saturday with some of his cricket friends, including Brian Charles Lara and Shivnarayan Chandapal. Both legends showed the people of Barak they've still got what it takes with the bat. Jasir Merrick of Seasport took the trek down the Ganga's hometown and took in some of the action.
Momentous day on Saturday in a community which takes its cricket quite seriously. A son of the Barakpur soil turned 38 and brought some friends along for the party.
It's happy to be back in Barakpur. The last time I came here, there was a lot of rain, I remembered, but I ended the day with some curry duck, which was good. I'm expecting that this afternoon as well.
And so, it was time to play. Boasting the likes of Dinanath Ramnarayan, Lendell Simmons and others, the Darren Ganga 11 batted first against Lara, Shiv Chandapal and company. The Guyanese left-handed batsman showing his secret skill. But soon the runs were flowing. Simmons, the power hitter, getting the crowd going. But after he was out, the hometown boy came out to the middle. And he too showed his array of shots. Nicholas Puran reminding all as well of his power with the Ganga 11 eventually posting 178 for 7.
And that's the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Round Hay Pharmacy now has 2 locations to fill your prescriptions promptly and efficiently. Our branch at One Accord Plaza is open daily, including Sundays and bank holidays. Also, check out our new drive-through location at Warren's Healthcare Complex in Michael, the first and only drive-through pharmacy in Barbados. For more information, call Round Hay One Accord Plaza at 421-7863 and our new drive-through branch at Warren's in Michael at 424-5574.
Speaking about the business that you're in, tell us exactly what is Providence Advisors? What exactly is it you do?
Well, it probably is better to tell you how we started. Providence really evolved out of the legacy business of the old YRS, NatWest, Coots Bahamas, and SG. They, in 2005, decided that the domestic business, which was built up over 70 years, was not a business they wanted to be in.
A quick recap of the major headlines of the day. A request by the Belize government for a restructuring of its $530 million super bond has been rejected. And in sport, 3 men shortlisted to become the next Soca Warriors head coach. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, log on to KanaNews.com. We'll be back here tomorrow, God's willing, but have yourselves a great evening.